truth be told is I met this clown, or he had somebody that was either watching me and went back and told him about me, and he ended up at the same club as me. I think I mentioned he gave me his card, and I was like, what the? Like, why would a clown like that have a card? Anyways, he was pretending to be big man on campus. I realized that this guy was never in my caliber. And he knew that. He knew that I wouldn't want to be with someone if I really knew who he was, because he was from the streets. He was a criminal. He was from the streets selling drugs and fraudulent checks and pimps and hoes and prostitutes and all kinds of cool, whatever this dude was into, not cool stuff. And so I think this guy got a kick off of having someone like me of my caliber under his thumb, because I didn't know anything about black magic or spell work, or I didn't know how demonic spirits worked and how people were trying to demonize me because they wanted to control me and wanted to have power over me. And so this person kept on doing it over and over and over again because he got pleasure off of putting his thumb and keeping me down. It made him feel powerful because I wanted nothing to do with him, because I knew this guy was gross. He was disgusting. He was a pig, even a cockroach for that matter. And this guy, because I wouldn't let him in back again, because the first time I made the mistake, I remember I was walking in the market and this woman of color was behind us and she was walking. The lady took her shoes off and started trying to hit him and say to him, get away from her, you're nasty, you're evil, get away from her, and started chasing him. When this happened, I came home and I started questioning it. I'm like, this is a Looney Tune. Like, what am I doing with this guy? But I was so under the spell work and under the influence of like being manipulated and being told what to do that I wasn't understanding what was happening to me. So he kept on doing it over and over and over again until I started to like lose who I was and who I am. But once I started realizing the truth about what this guy was doing and who he was and how he took pleasure in watching me suffer, like, there's no possible way someone who is in their right mind would want to watch someone suffer because the person rejected them. And the person, I rejected that person for a really good reason, right? He was trying to freeze my bank account. He was trying to get a phone in my name. Because he had no credit. So he stole my driver's license and asked me to go pick up a car in Syracuse at his sister's house. The car was coming back with me and the car started losing control. So I called the guy and I said, hey bro, the car you sent me to pick up. So this is all like a setup, because I'm coming back to the border and the border already knows this car and what this car has done and who owns the car. They started shredding the car and turning it upside down and said to me, you're not leaving with this car is staying right here. So I said, okay, cool. So this was all a setup. This guy whose son was crossing the border with me at the same time with his girlfriend had fake ID. But the cops the security at the border let them through, but questioned my driver's license, and my driver's license was authentic. So it was already the spell work he was trying to set me up, and he was hoping that at the border I would get caught and they would put me and imprison me. So this guy is a lunatic. He's a psychopath. He likes to watch people suffer. He likes to cause chaos in people's lives. And they let me go. The security at the border let me go, so I came back home. And there was one night I find out that this guy was cheating on me. So I said to myself, okay, this guy's got to go. And since then, I never spoke to him. And he kept on coming back because narcissists don't close doors. They leave them open. So they think you forget. So they re-enter in again to your life within the next 3-4 years. They think you forgot about what they did to you. And the guy just kept on coming. And every time, like, he's so parasitic that when he comes around, the energy alone is so freaking distorted. Like, it's intense. And this guy is so delusional. He thinks he's Don Juan. He thinks that every woman wants him. But they don't, because what he does is he uses black magic and spell work and the conjuring of other low vibrational entities to help him gain control over women. So it's not that the women want him. He is very delusional. Like, he's a psychopath. He's a sociopath. So in his mind, it's like, oh, everybody wants me. But he's got some form of attachment to him. So this attachment, I don't know if it's a demonic attachment or what it is, but this guy sleeps with like any and everybody. And he would phone me and be like, oh, can you help a friend of mine that came from the States? He needs medication because he slept with a girl. But it was him. It was him that was getting the STDs. It was him. But he was lying to me. The first couple of times this guy actually did really bad things to me. And I didn't know what was happening because he was so manipulating and such a liar that he believed his own lies that he was telling me. He believed them himself. But he knew that they were lies. This guy would send spirits, like hovering and monitoring spirits, to watch me everywhere I go and who I was with. And if he knew I was out having a good time, he would call from all kinds of unknown numbers just to distract me. Just to distract me, because I'd be like, who the fuck, who's calling me? So he would do it just for a distraction, to take my mind off of what I was doing so I wouldn't have any fun. This guy played so many games, started lying on my mother and my brother and sisters. Oh, you think your mom cares for you? She doesn't care for you. And he's doing it so I can isolate myself. So I would keep my family away because my family is my support. He would tell me stuff about my brothers and my sisters. And it was always a lie. It was always to control me. It was always to have power over me. The lies that this guy told me was so far-fetched that only a criminal, someone who has done this to several women, would think like this. Because what this guy does is he studies women. And he'll go to the spirit realm. He'll go to the spiritual realm. If he does something and it doesn't work in the physical realm, like if he meets you and you don't give him his number, he'll go to the spirit realm and he'll conjure up a demon to go and talk to you so you could phone him and give him your number, so you could fall for him or have feelings for him. That's how this guy works. This guy has nothing, but everything he does or gets, he uses dark magic, not black magic, dark. I'm talking dark magic to get what he wants. This guy's very dark. He's very demonic. I tell you these things because you have to be aware of people who are shapeshifters. Because this guy in the physical pretends to be very innocent and because he's a shapeshifter, right? He's gonna mimic your energy to be whoever you want him to be. If you're a loving and kind person, he's gonna mimic that. He's gonna mirror that. He's gonna make sure that he pretends to be nice to you so you could like him and think that, oh, he's like me. But he isn't. He only does it to gain an entryway into your life. And once you let him in and you don't do as he tells you to do, he goes in the spiritual realm and conjures up demons to come and attack you until you give in to him. This is how this guy works. Everything he has, he got it through spell work, through dark magic, through practicing the dark arts, through conjuring up low vibration entities. That's how this guy operates. That's who this guy is. And he has a ton of other people that he works with to do his dirty work. This is not an honest person. This person is very, very evil.